Ah! What's good, everybody? It is your favorite host, Adrian Nyce. Welcome to another episode of Mouthin Out. We we are on the Let Me Talk My Shit podcast tour. We just hit Atlanta. Right now, I'm here with
Dre1ne.
Dre1ne in the motherfucking building.
Mr. Nice, what's going on?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I feel all right. Little tired, but that's no excuse to get the job done.
Right. Where'd you just come from?
I just came from Miami on the way to Ohio right now. Life tour.
Good old Miami. What was you doing down in Miami?
Well, that's where I'm born and raised. I'll just say South Florida because I was born in Miami Gardens and then raised in Broward County. So just, stopping by, getting off of work a little bit, and then heading back out on the road.
Now, you're not just some ordinary driver, though. When you pulled up, I was expecting, just being like a little car or whatever. But no, this motherfucker pulls into like the front end of a big 18-wheeler truck.
Yeah, the semi.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's crazy. What is it like driving?
Man, driving is it's really a lifestyle. Like I know a lot of guys and even women want to get their CDLs and things like that. When I first got into it, I had to adapt my lifestyle and change.
Really? Like what you mean?
Like you said, like driving for a long period of time. I might be in places where I'm not able to take a shower. I might not be able to eat food. You know what I'm saying? I kind of gotta like pack my own food like a couple of days in advance before I go some places. So. Yeah, it's just a whole different lifestyle I had to get adjusted to.
Cause do you have to meet like deadlines?
Oh yeah, very punctual. Yeah, I got to be there on time. Yeah, for sure.
Damn, so it might be a situation where you can't stop for like, I don't know, 10 hours. What's the longest you done driven without stopping?
Without stopping? What you mean, like?
Yeah, just I'm driving. Like you're going to a destination.
Straight drive.
Yeah, but like how long did you drive before you had to stop?
Well, there's a lot of technicalities to that. Some people might understand that. Some people might not. But the longest I've driven without stopping.
For like a bathroom break, food, just going straight.
That I can legally say is 8 hours.
Okay.
But anything after that, I would have to take a break. And then
technically,
and then I could drive for another 3 hours, but I've driven longer than that, man. I ain't gonna lie. I've driven 13, 14 hours.
Damn.
Yeah.
How do you do that, bro? Because like when I'm driving, bro, and I get to the point where I'm starting to get tired, I hit that, which I'm sure you probably faced it too, where it's like you awake but you asleep.
Yeah, it's that, and then I say a lot of people. I say this to a lot of people, like driving, getting that tunnel vision. That's like a meditative state. Sometimes you can get lost in that state and it get really drowsy. So, I mean, when I first got into it, it was hard. But now it's more like it's a habit now. So it's a little bit more easier to control. Like,
right.
I know I might be drowsy driving.
Right.
But there's a threshold. Like,
right.
There's a certain point in time, okay, I'm tired. And then there's another certain point in time, okay, I need some rest.
Right.
So I kind of know the difference between those two. And if I know I'm kind of like struggling.
You just pull over.
Yeah.
That's what they say the best thing to do is just pull over, get your sleep, or get like a little power nap in, and then.
Hey, don't underestimate them power naps.
Right.
It's power in those naps.
30 minutes, an hour, 20, or whatever.
Yeah, I had 2 naps back to back. I set my alarm, and my alarm went off, and I was like, damn, that was the best nap ever. And then I was like, nah, I did a little task right quick, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Went right back to sleep.
Right
that
back.
second one was even better than the first one.
Right.
And it was both like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it'd always be the ones where you like sleep, but you like are forced to wake up. That'd be like the best one.
Well, and then you be having the best dream. You wake up, be like,
damn.
Facts.
What is so you grew up in Miami,
For
born
sure.
and raised?
Yes, sir.
How long were you staying there till you moved out here?
Well, I'm not actually staying in Atlanta. So
okay. So you just be through and shit.
Bro, I be everywhere when I tell you. But yeah, I'm still in South Florida.
Okay, that's
For
dope.
sure.
What is South Florida like for someone that's never been there?
All right, that's
Specifically where you grew up.
That's crazy to me because I go a lot of places and people don't even. If you say Miami, yeah, of course everybody knows. But like if I say Fort Lauderdale, sometimes people don't even know what that is.
It's like right above Miami, right?
Yeah, like when I say, I mean just certain city. Like if I say Opalaka,
Nah.
don't nobody know what that is. You know what I'm saying? So I go out and I tell people like, yeah, to me Florida has one of the best beaches in America. Like
Y'all
just
definitely got the ladies. Oh my God.
it's
But keep going.
it's a tourist attraction.
Right.
It's almost like I'm not going to compare it to California because they're two totally different things.
For sure.
But as far as like women, weather, music, culture,
Y'all right there with them for sure.
you know what I'm saying?
If
Everybody
not
got that.
beating them, whatever.
Yeah, but definitely the beaches is the best thing to me. I love the beach side and I love the culture because it's a melting pot. It's not just one culture there. Like you got the Hispanics, you got
Right.
the Zoes, you got the Jamaicans.
Right. Y'all got
Yeah.
different culture. Like I mean I see that,
Exactly.
in Cali or whatever, but it's not like heavy.
Yeah, it's definitely a melting pot down there. So you get a good diverse crowd everywhere you go.
So what is there to do like around like the Miami and surrounding areas besides like the strip and besides like the touristy stuff?
Well, for me, I just like sliding through the neighborhoods. That's just for me, and then stopping, getting some food.
Hell yeah.
That's one of the best things that I can say. Other than that, like where you raised and grew up from,
Yeah.
you kind of know all there is to know
Right.
there, so you don't really do the tourist stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you touch down in the city, you kind of want to relax, R&R.
Does it get old like since you are from there and you have grew up do like okay the beach or like Wynwood for example like the art place and all, does that get old or like is it like hey we're gonna go to Wynwood today or type shit?
Um, it never gets old, but it does get taken for granted. You know what I'm saying? It's like I might say, yeah, we finna go down, and then you just never, because it's always right there.
Always right
You know what I'm
there.
saying? Like,
That's
and I'm
crazy.
always here, so I can go there whenever I want.
Anytime.
You know what I'm saying? But it never gets old. It's always something else. It's always something
Right.
new in the city for sure.
What was life like growing up for you?
Well, for me, very influential life. On both sides, being influenced and influencing.
Okay.
Um, Raised in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County. Shout out Melrose. But prior to that, I was Miami Gardens. So a lot of back and forth, just moving around. But my home is South Florida, and I'm the only child. A lot of people don't know that, so I have a lot of freedom to just go about my way. So I'm not really tied down to a lot of things. I just always been an adventurous person. You know what I'm saying? So
Now, growing up, did you want like a brother or sister, or
yeah, I was asked. Just my
did
mom
you
just.
want you want another child?
Yeah, my mom asked me. She for sure asked me. I forgot what I said. I probably said no, and then probably later thought about it like, yeah, I want
Right.
a sister. Blah,
Right,
blah.
right.
But circumstances happen.
And then, uh, did you have your mom and your dad in the household?
No, it was just my mom. My dad is a complicated story. That's like a backstory that I sometimes explain. But usually it's just my mom, and then I had a stepdad who kind of raised me majority of like. But he passed away as soon as I graduated high
Oh,
school.
really?
Like 6 days after I graduated high school. So it was like after graduation, life hit me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, that was one of those cases. But other than that was pretty much my father figure for real.
Okay. And so, were they playing music at all in your household, or how do you feel if you can remember back that you were introduced to music?
Well, introduced to music actually was the women in my family, like my aunties, a lot of my godmothers. They listen to a lot of music, and coming from where we come from, South Florida, around that time, a lot of the influence came from Atlanta on
Mm,
down. So you had like the Yang Yang Twins who was bumping
mm.
really hard. What's Lil Jon? Lil Jon was
Lil Jon,
bumping really
crunk
hard.
music, all
You know
that
what I'm
shit.
saying? So it was like we had a lot of that influence,
Fire.
and then when it came to R&B, it was like Sade, some like other Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
You know what
Soulful.
Yeah, stuff like that. So I was introduced to music by my auntie. She used to sit me down in a room, kind of like this, with a big speaker and just play music all day.
Really?
Literally, just
Dang.
talk to me like a DJ type.
That's
You
dope,
know what I'm
though.
saying? Like, and I just sit there and listen.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to Auntie.
Shout out to Auntie TT. Shout out Auntie TT.
Right. And then like, what about friends? Like, growing up, did you have friends that were trying to do like their own music, rap scene, whatever?
Yeah, for sure. So music was always an influence. I actually went to a Boys and Girls Club.
Nice, I did too.
And yeah, you did too?
Yeah.
Oh, which Boys and Girls Club?
So, we got them in like the Carolinas or whatever the case may be.
Ain't-
But yeah, I went to one. back in
Okay,
the
okay,
day.
that's what's up. Yeah, man, the Boys and Girls Club actually probably saved my life.
Right. People
what I'm saying?
underestimate how crucial those type of places are.
Yeah, definitely. If it wasn't for the Boys and Girls Club, I definitely would have been in the streets.
Streets.
And no, I definitely would have been in the streets. And the reason why I was at the Boys and Girls Club so much because they had a studio in there.
Okay, so we are back from commercial break. So you said you went to the I was about to say
Boys
the
and Girls
Breakfast
Club.
the Boys and Girls Club.
That too. Hey.
And then I went to the Boys and Girls Club too. And you were talking about they had a studio in there.
Yeah, man, they had a studio in the Boys and Girls Club.
See, ours wasn't like that. I mean, we had stuff like arcade. We had like a pool table, shit like that. We played different games, went outside, shit like that. But the studio, this shit been lit.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of learning experience I gained during that time.
Now, are they is there like someone in there kind of just like teaching you guys what to do, or are they like behind the computer and just y'all go in there, spit whatever?
Yeah, definitely. We had an instructor named Jeff. Shout out to Jeff, man.
Shout out to Jeff.
Really great, talented engineer and musician. Still does his thing to this day.
So while you were in there, did you have friends that weren't going to the Boys and Girls Club?
Oh yeah, for sure. Outside of the Boys and Girls Club, yeah.
And what age did you say this was?
For me, this was because I went to two. And I had a close friend that influenced me to go to that specific Boys and Girls Club because they had a studio. The other one I went to, they didn't have a studio, but they had like a production room where you could just make beats and stuff. My bad. What was your question?
Age.
Oh, age. So around this time for me was like I said, 13 to like 17.
Got you.
But in that Boys and Girls Club, it was maybe like 15 to like 17.
Now, the friends that weren't going there, were they like, how were they looking at you going to the Boys and Girls Club?
It wasn't, they didn't really look at
They
it.
looked down on it, I guess.
No. They didn't look down on it. They actually was like, are you going to the Boys and Girls Club? I think it's their circumstance that wouldn't allow them to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you do have to be a member. You do have to have your parents come in and sign
Right.
So a lot of kids may not have that kind of resource.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So at least I had somebody to represent me. And in case of any emergency, they can call.
Right.
A lot of kids wasn't like that. So it wasn't really anything bad. It's just that they just didn't have things to talk about, like the kids that were going.
Right. And so, were you releasing any of the songs that you were recording in there, or was it just like for play?
Man, yeah, man, nah. A lot of those songs got released.
Wow, that's dope.
On the underground. So, yeah, man, I've been recording music for quite a while. A lot of those songs are out. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Do you remember like your first one that you recorded and that actually became a song? Like any bars?
What's crazy is I never used to cuss in my music. So I just remember going in the studio and just rapping this one song, and I just had no curse words on it, and everybody was like,
"Oh, that was a thing." Right.
That was like a thing, but then I was later influenced to just rap. You know what I'm saying? But
give us like 4 bars. Do you remember?
Nah, man.
Cap. No,
Nah, I know, bro. I've made so many songs.
Right.
Like
That's what a lot of artists
I can't remember not even the first rap I wrote.
Dang.
I can't.
What do you remember like the first time you actually got into, I guess, quote unquote, a real studio? I guess outside of damn it. Breakfast Club.
Yeah, we're gonna see this guy at Breakfast Club.
Hopefully, look, hey, outside of the Boys and Girls Club, like you book your own studio time or
Yeah.
a homie might have?
Um, I think one of the studios, the first studios I ever went to was like somewhere in Miami, of course. Um, I mean, bro, I've been to a lot of studios too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the times, because I'm the only child, I think
Right.
that's what it is. I'm adventurous, so I just do a lot of shit. So my first time doing something is not really like the most impressionable, memorable moment. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's just like I get into something and I'm just initially just in the moment, and then the lasting impression is the impressions that just trigger me later. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I only really remember those memorable moments in those type of studios. And the ones I pretty much remember is there's a studio literally next to G5 strip club. There's like a clothing shop. Then there's this shop called the clothing shop is Airplane Mode, and then literally right next to that is the studio.
Right.
It's Mastermind Studios. Shout out to Mastermind
Mastermind.
Studios,
Shout out to Mastermind.
man. But studios like that pretty cool. There was a time I met Lil Mosey in a studio. Shout out to
That's
Dino.
fire.
Dino, that was a pretty cool moment. I forgot what studio that was, man. But
Did you
yeah, for sure.
talk to him and
Yeah,
what
yeah,
y'all
we
talk
talked.
about?
Yeah, we chopped it up. It was like a cool conversation. But
Okay.
I really was just there to like
Observe.
observe. I was with
Right.
somebody. Somebody brought me in. You know how people be with their sessions. You know,
Right.
I
You
really
want to
was just
fan
chilling.
out.
You know what I mean? I really was
Cool,
just chilling,
yeah.
just peeping the vibe, seeing
Right.
what's going. Yeah.
Right. Who are some we know a couple of names, but who are some like other or who are some names, notable names that's popped out of the Miami area and surrounding areas?
Oh yeah, so that's a long list. You talking about
For
major
sure.
underground, just in general?
Yeah, super mainstream and kind of this era.
Okay. Well, obviously you got Kodak.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rick Ross still is in the. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's the OG. I think Plies still definitely
Plus.
got that. A lot of conscious people still listen to Ace Hood. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You still got the streets listening to Gunplay,
Yep.
Risco, um, shoot Trina still popping, doing their thing.
Are there any like up and coming
Well,
artists that you are in tune with?
I'm recently in tune with the one that got put on the Double XL freshman cover. What's his name? Lil. Damn.
I can't think. I didn't know too.
Um,
I knew like half of the people on
Lil
there.
Tyler.
Oh yeah, okay. So he's
Right.
from out there.
Yeah. He's from
Dang,
Florida.
that's fire.
I'm not sure if he's from Miami, Florida.
Yeah, but he's from Florida.
But he's
I
definitely
fucks with
from Florida. Yeah,
bruh's
yeah.
music.
And then you got, it's a lot of people. You got YNW Melly,
Oh yeah,
You
damn.
got a lot of people from Jacksonville, them boys,
Oh yeah, yeah. Y'all got a lot in
Yeah.
Florida, bro.
Yeah.
Big cities. Y'all got Jacksonville, Miami, Orlando. Y'all got Tampa.
Yeah.
Y'all got what else? I'm missing one.
Tallahassee,
Tallahassee.
T-Pain,
Right.
you know.
That's crazy. Do the cities collab with each other, or is it like do y'all not go to each city like on some Cali shit?
That's a good
Like
question.
you know how they beef and shit.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure if the cities really collab like that. I think inner city wise, like the underground is collabing. Don't let it fool you. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
underground people, like they working together. But like major, of course, you got the major people that are going to collab. But
Right.
like as far as like a Tallahassee, Miami mix or like a Jacksonville, Orlando mix, I don't see too much of
You don't
that.
see it too much.
Not me personally.
Do you know maybe why or just
I don't know why. I don't. But once again, it's a melting pot.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of excuses as to why not.
that's true
You know what
too.
I'm saying? So it's just all circumstance.
That's dope, man. And so what do you feel like is the biggest differences? We're about to go to another commercial break, but before we do go, what do you feel like is the biggest differences you see between Miami and surrounding areas, or South Florida, like you said, South Florida, and just other states that you visited, like Atlanta or you said New Orleans and stuff? Just
I tell my dog all the time that like South Florida is like spoiled. Like we come like from a very like it's everything's right there. Like
Right.
everything is right there. So when I go to places like even Atlanta, like if you don't live in the heart of Atlanta, everything's like 30 minutes to an hour.
Right. It's country, yeah, trees and all that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like we really from the city, so it's like having everything right there. And then when I go to places like Kentucky or I go to places like, you know what I'm saying, Ohio, or I just go to different, like even Baltimore. Like Baltimore is, I love Baltimore. Shout out Baltimore, by the way.
Shout out
But
Baltimore.
like the difference is, it's just I think everything's right there. Like you got the beach, you got like tourist attractions, you got like theme parks, you got good food. You know what I'm saying? Seafood. It's a lot, bro.
A lot in one spot, very close together,
spot.
type of shit.
I realize when I go other places,
it ain't like that all the time
at all.
For sure.
Really, like it's really not.
Yeah, I go because I go to Cali a lot, so I go to Cali, man, and it's just like that. You know, I can walk outside. 2 blocks over, we got the corner store, whatever the case may be, and I can get everything I need, or it's just a grocery store, whatever is right there. And I go back to Charlotte, man. I have to have a car first off, and then I gotta drive.
Another thing is things close. Things close differently.
Things close.
You know what I'm saying? Like in Miami and South Florida, things be open to like 4, 5, 6. You go to somewhere else, it's like
close it like 2.
One time I went to California like a couple of times, Venice Beach over there.
Yeah, Venice.
And like it closed like around 12.
Yeah.
Like we was looking for the strip club, and the strip club was closing at 2.
Yeah.
And we was like, what is it? Yeah. So obviously there's more to the city past that.
Yeah.
But you got to really be in tune.
Exactly. Because, they got the after hours spots and all this other type of stuff. That's really what it turns into. But, yeah, you got to know type shit. All right. Next commercial break is happening right now. We'll be back. And when we come back, we're going to jump into your music. Who are some people that inspire you, my guy?
That was a good one. Nah, I was looking at the pain like, the late, great Nipsey Hussle, man.
Yes, sir.
The marathon continues. That's definitely an influence to me as far as business. That really is what influenced me to start my business. You know what I'm saying? So, and then after that, I had to study more entrepreneurs like 50 Cent, Damon Dash.
I fucks with Dame a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Is business important in your music?
Yeah.
Musical journey?
Yeah. Business is definitely important. That's before the music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's way before the music. The music is last at this point. Like,
very small percentage.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at.
So, okay. We kind of went through your earlier journey, your background a little bit. South Florida, growing up, Boys and Girls Club, introduced to music studios. Your auntie was playing music. You're recording music. So when did you feel like you started taking like music serious? Like, damn, I can, either make a living off of this or I can make it off of this, or like, when do you feel like that feeling came?
That's a 2-part question. Because when I first started feeling like taking music seriously, I wasn't really taking music seriously. I still was kind of like just recording it and just thinking up the dream. You know what I'm saying? That was way back in like 6th grade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I could honestly say I've been really trying, taking it seriously since 6th grade. Now, when I really, really started taking it seriously, especially like with the business aspect and a lot of things that surround music.
Your brain's more developed now. You know more. All this. Go ahead.
Right, exactly. So when I really, really started taking it serious is around 2020.
2020? During the pandemic?
Yeah, during the pandemic.
Everything slowed down.
Shit started slowing down, and I was like, there's people out here really getting money. And I think the thing for me is trying to find ways of how I can make money off of music. Because I just feel like once I get to a status of just really making money off of music in each of its different pockets, then I'm good. I ain't really got to worry about too much. Then I could venture off and do other things.
So during the pandemic, were you driving big trucks back then?
Yeah, for sure.
So how did that affect y'all?
It didn't.
It didn't. So they still had y'all out there.
Yeah. It was for sure.
Which y'all just had to take like precautions, like masks.
Yeah, mask.
Sanitizer, all that.
All that stuff was going around that time, so we definitely had to be extra careful. But yeah, I was ain't nothing really stopped me during the pandemic.
He's like, I gotta get this money.
Yeah, facts. Ain't nothing really.
Bills don't stop.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's fire. Are you so right now you're independent?
Facts.
Is this something you want to continue to be, or are you openly looking for management, distribution, record label?
Sure. I mean, I'm open. Like, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really trying to say I'm going to just stick independently when I'm
Yeah.
not going to say, I don't need help from a major. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
just, hey, if it makes sense and the situation is good enough and resonate with me, then yeah.
Is there like a certain label that you would like to work with, and if not label, maybe just like an artist, their label, or that you wouldn't
Man.
mind work signing to or whatever?
You mean like collaboration or?
Not song wise. We will
Okay.
ask that question, but just
Okay.
like how, artists like YSL, like Young Thug has a label. You know what I'm saying? Like you would sign to this.
So you're asking me what label I would be signed to?
Yeah, you wouldn't mind being signed.
Potentially?
Yeah.
Shoot. I think about it. It crosses my mind sometimes. I think about labels like TDE.
Hell yeah.
I think Kendrick is moving to PG Lane now. I think that's his label. I think about Dreamville. I think about Double MG. I think about these different labels like that. Because what I get compared to is like more conscious. So
Gotcha.
I think that's more my lane. But I'm versatile. I can still.
Right. But for majority of it, you're conscious. Type stuff.
Yeah. Sure.
That's fire. What music are you pushing right now?
I got a single dropping July 25th. It's called Street Light. That's the one I'm pushing right now. It's a crazy story.
Street Light.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. I was trying to shoot a video and I got into a car accident right before the video, so that kind of pushed a lot of stuff back. So I'm working on the video right now. But the song is dropping July 25th. Street Light.
The song's dropping July 25th.
Yes.
Is it done?
Yes,
It's done.
Yeah.
And the video's done to it?
No. That's the funny part because I got into a car accident like literally the day before.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
So it's in the works.
Yeah, so I had to situate that with insurance because, I be on the road, I professionally drive. So all that is very important. I can't have things like that happen. So it really did set me back. So, yeah.
I didn't think about that. Like driving outside of driving them, like any stuff you do, I guess that does affect.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Your license and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy. Street Light coming out soon, July
25th.
25th, and that's going to be a single.
Single, yeah.
What do you have out now that people can go check out?
I got 2 projects. One is called Inspired by You. I dropped in 2016. Another one I have is called Cuffing Season. I dropped it in 2020. Those are on all platforms. Well, I think Cuffing Season is more so like underground platforms like DatPiff and SoundCloud, things like that. And then I have like Inspired by You is on all platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, YouTube.
Do you think platforms like DatPiff or like live mixtapes or Coast to Coast or something like that, do you still think they're like valuable or like are still used nowadays since we do have Spotify or whatever?
Yeah, I do think they're valuable. A lot of people release, especially DJs, like underground mixtapes through those sites. The mainstream platforms don't really give you as much, and that's kind of what we was talking about off camera. Is like when you go to the mainstream or the major, they don't really give you that, that space. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go to like the underground and you work with, they give you a lot of freedom to
do whatever, have
your own schedule, choose how you want to put it. So, yeah, I do think it's very popular, but it's just not mainstream.
I like that. Answer.
Yeah, for sure.
So you said Cuffing Season was the most recent project?
Was the most recent, yeah.
And what's that about? Just like love, relationships, stuff like that?
Yeah, pretty much just, trying to tell people to stick together, stick through it. Yeah, get married. Woo! Yeah.
How many songs were on the project?
That, I think 7.
7?
Yeah.
So if we had to choose one to send people to, what one song from that project would it be?
Friends First.
Friends First. And let's kind of break down what it's about.
So basically that song is just about enjoying the time you have with somebody as a friend before you get intimate with them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times we just jump into the feeling of, oh, I like this person so much.
I'm gonna go smash.
It's just love at first sight. You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, but I think it's really important just to take the time to get to know somebody as a genuine friend. Can they even be your friend? And that's what that song was about. Just the story of, meeting someone and saying, hey, I'm gonna just be your friend first, and then if we get there, we get there.
And then the project before that's titled
Inspired by you.
and then that has how many tracks?
That one has 12.
12. And if we had to send them people to one on that project, which one would send them to?
Oh, that's a good one, because that project is almost a classic. A lot of people say it's a classic. I would have to say 99.
I don't know. What number is that on the? Do you remember?
No, man.
Well, what is 99 about? Let's break that down.
Uh,
99 problems? No.
no, not really, but it's just about being just togetherness, with the team, with your people. You know what I'm saying? 9 out of 10 are with my shooters. Ducked off when I got to ride solo. So, you know what I'm saying? It's majority of the time you with your peoples, but when you need to be by yourself, you by yourself. So that's what that song is pretty much about. Yeah.
Fire. You know what time it is?
Dre1ne.
No.
What?
Commercial break. We'll be back right after this.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we are back from our last commercial break. So we are going to hop into a couple of segments, games, whatever you want to call it, and then we'll have your final words before we go.
For sure.
Okay, so first, I'm going to say a word, and when I say this word, I want you to give me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right, here we go. Driving.
Tunnel.
Okay. South Florida.
Beach.
Okay. Music.
Money.
Money.
Oh, no, it's just the first thing that came to my mind.
No, that's the next word. Money.
Oh. Currency.
Okay. Family.
Friends.
Goals.
It's like I hear success and I hear achievement.
Okay. Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, creativity.
Okay. Auntie that was helping you out.
Family.
Family. Okay. God.
Spirituality.
Yes, sir. Okay, so now I'm going to say a sentence, okay?
Okay.
And then what I want you to do, you're going to finish the sentence.
This is one of the exercises, the freestyle exercises.
Really?
Throw in the word. Or keep it. No,
Oh. That would be dope. That might be a game I add or something like
that's
that.
definitely a thing.
Okay, so sentence. If I was not born in South Florida, I would have liked to have been born in
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Okay. Have you been before?
I have not.
You have not.
And I got my passport.
Dang,
I just don't be having time,
bruh,
bro.
I'll be everywhere.
I don't be having
feel
time.
I feel it. If I was not driving, I would be doing.
Shit, in the booth. Some creative. Some just worth my creative energy.
If I wasn't doing music, I would be.
Shoot, probably in jail
Bang.
or dead.
Music saving lives, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Saving
man.
lives.
Music is dangerous too. The climate, I guess, nowadays.
Right.
But no, I think you create that climate with the music. It's very perpetuation of sorts. But if I wasn't doing music, I'd probably be in school. In school.
Okay. Well, what would you study if you were in school?
I thought about being an architect or something dealing with the ocean, ironically.
Speaking of ocean,
Yeah.
let's talk about the submarine situation.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this submarine situation?
It's a lot of things. One thing, rest in peace to those people.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
you don't really know what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just hear the news.
Just hear it.
And you just kind of like assume and think of sorts. But, yo, man, I think people with that kind of money that could just, buy a ticket like that. And then just the person who created it, the CEO, like, if I was a billionaire, I think I would have better creative ideas.
Damn.
That's just my thing. Like,
oh, so you're saying like, why are you going down there in the first place, or like you would have built it better?
I would have built it better. Like, if
Had
I
a
was a
plan
billionaire,
B,
like, my creative idea for that would have just been to the very extreme, not to some simple, like, you know what I'm saying?
billionaire. Come on.
And another thing is just like, well, it was 5 guys on that.
Right. Right. 'Cause it was small.
It kind of makes me want to go to 5 guys.
So now, what would you do if? So now there was one younger kid, father and son, and the kid was basically forced to go on there. Like for Father's Day, he
Yeah.
said he wanted to go, or he would
Yeah.
go because his father.
Yeah, he was influenced to go.
Exactly. So now, if you were that kid and you were down there, you didn't want to go in the first place. Now you know you about to die. What's going to go through your head?
Yo, being on the verge of death, like near death experiences, don't be no joke. It'd be really humbling. So I don't think I would be too like.
You be mad at your dad?
I don't think I would be.
I said I didn't want to go down.
I don't think I would be. At the end of the day, it's still my choice.
damn.
I still made the decision to go down there.
That's a fact.
And then at the same time, that's actually pretty heroic what they did. Like in retrospect, because like you're trying to be innovative. Yeah, maybe the way you went about it wasn't the best, but it does spark a lot of ideas to say, hey, let's create something that actually can explore the depths of the ocean.
Right. And I'm sure they like tested it a couple of times beforehand.
Yeah, that's what they say.
It just happened. Yeah, right. But damn, their one just happened to fucking go down.
Yeah, man.
All right, back to the game.
For sure.
But my favorite place on earth is
home.
My favorite room in my house is
the booth.
Okay, take that. Before I leave this earth, I want to
accomplish the goals that I set out for myself.
Do you have children?
I do not.
Okay. Do you want children?
I do. From the right person. From the
Right.
right person. Please.
When I have my children, I will teach them
what I know.
My mind is
limitless.
Facts. Okay. But before we leave, we're going to just leave with one piece of advice, bro. So just kind of give one piece of advice to other up and coming artists just trying to make it in the industry from your perspective.
Oh yeah. I know a lot of people say, hey, shout out to you, Adrian, man. Nice to be here on Mouthin Out podcast interview. It's great vibe, man.
Stand the man.
Man, I watched this prior to even knowing what. I just watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's definitely going to come up. But shout out to everybody that's watching, and those who do want this piece of advice. Just I know you probably hear it a lot, but don't quit.
Don't quit.
And I think a part of not quitting is more specifically knowing exactly what you want. Because I mean, if you're unsure about it, of course you might quit. Right. And then once you're sure about it, once you're like, all right, I'm not going to quit, I'm going to stick to it, then handle that business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it's about. Get the business in order and don't quit.
Right. Right. What's next for you, man?
For me, I'm going to just continue to create. I feel like it's about creation, not more competition. So I'm going to continue to create. I got Street Like dropping. I got another track I'm working on right now in the works. Called Atlas. I think that's a really dope song that I'm going to release. And then I'm working on a project. So
you should start. Do you vlog at all?
I don't vlog. I think one of the things I did have an idea about is, like I said, I'm very adventurous.
Yeah.
So when I get more structured in music with myself, I do want to do a type of vlog where I do
Travel
like
vlog,
adventurous
bro.
shit, like just
Even if you just in your truck driving, bro,
it's
like
adventurous shit though, like
yeah,
not just because
you want to be jumping out the plane,
yeah,
fucking
man, like truck life is cool.
hiking Mount Everest. No,
Truck life is cool because I be on the move, but like I want to be on the mountain. I don't want to just see the mountain. I want to be, you know
but
what I'm
still
saying?
though, you gotta think it's people that never leave their block, bro.
And I that is very
Never
true.
leave their block.
That is
So
very true.
just by you, even if you driving by, I don't know, the Grand Canyon and just showing like the Grand Canyon sign like
Yeah,
that,
that's true.
you know,
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
inspiring.
Yeah, man.
All right, man, we out of here. Drop your
One.
social media, spell it out for them so they can find you.
Dre like Doctor. That's DRE, the number 1 NE underscore on all platforms.
All right, there you guys have it. I am your host, Adrian Nyce. It's Mouthin Out, and we are out.
Ah.
Peace.